All right, hello, hello. Oh, I lost my chat. Where is it? All right. So I was able to figure out what they're doing post buyout. Neuro, it's kind of a so I would say like $100,000. I would say I think the saying's like $1 million question, but I don't know that you could put $1 million valuation on it. Yeah. So all right. A bit sick. Me? Do I sound sick? Maybe. I reffed a couple games on the Eastern Shore and gorgeous field. I mean, the weather like started cold and then got nice. But on the one side of the field, they were growing soybeans. On the other side, it was wheat. On the other side, it was corn. And then there was a Christmas tree farm like that we passed on the way in. So I believe I had about 90 different types of pollen, and I can still feel it today. So yeah, not fun. Yeah. Anyway, it's Monday. Not a lot going on. Not a lot going on. Pound a little bit, right? Dollar CAD again retracing, right? A little bit this morning. Dollar Swiss 9, Euro pound 9, dollar yen 24, 25, 22. So not a whole lot, not a whole lot of news today. Um, Honestly, looking where some of the prices are right now, I don't necessarily love them. There's a lot of junk out there. So yeah, we'll see. Right? Nothing today. I mean, even like on a low basis, like a low impact news, not really much there. Um, German production down, but not really affecting it whatsoever. It's too small of a release. Um, so yeah, I mean nothing really noteworthy today. Um, Tomorrow, nothing either. So not a whole lot in there. Um, Pal's bet against recession looks good, minus the credit crunch. You know, um, I heard a lot of I don't know some articles, right? I guess Biden was asked about the 14th Amendment and basically saying, "Yup, it's Congress's. We have stuff to pay for. Congress has to get this done. Debt limit." I don't know. It made me really think. It's like, at what point will Congress say, "No, you're not getting. We're not just going to keep raising the debt limit forever, right? You need to be good spenders. Maybe not spend as much. Like, do you guys remember that movie? I forget what the guy's name is. He always plays like the dad, like Steve Martin. Maybe is it Steve Martin? Guy, he always plays like the dad and stuff like that. There was like one, I don't, you know what? Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was another guy that looks like him. I don't know. Basically became the president or whatever. Or he was like a fill in for the president. And then the president died. And then so they didn't cause chaos. They wanted him to be the president until they could have like a peaceful thing. Right. And he became like super popular. He had his friend that was the accountant look at the books. He's like, I could never run a business like this. This is like unbelievable. He's like, why do we have this? Right. Why are we spending $40 million to thank people for buying their car, or something like that? I forget what it's totally about, but I feel like that's where the stage is like, at what point will Congress force the government, the rest of the government, to not spend on things that we don't need? Right? Like, is it Congress's right just to keep giving like an unlimited check that we can just raise it, no big deal, just keep raising it? Um, or at some point, should they run it like, and the reason I bring it up and why I think it's a question to ponder is because again, if the dollar gets removed as the world currency, it's going to be looked at much differently um, than what it is now, right? They will have to look at things and it'll be looked at more like other countries do, and talking about their sovereignty and everything else. And is it really their duty just to write, just to keep approving unlimited checks for other people, or at some point, our sacrifices do they have to be made, right? Do we have to cut back over here to where we have a budget that makes sense, right? So yeah, interesting, interesting stuff there. Um, I love it. I'm confident they're going to do the right thing. It's like what, give you unlimited spending power? I don't know if that's the right thing, right? I don't know. Just feel like maybe it's not. So anyway, um, all right. So besides that, we ain't got a whole lot in here to talk about, right? Debated risk of inflation overshoot. It's Japan. Not really a big problem. Regional banks rebound on the second day as PacWest cuts dividends. Um, some funny memes for PacWest. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. But again, not a whole lot there, right? Greenback supposedly struggling. Continuing to struggle. Problems. Um, yeah. Yeah. I love Remy's raise the debt ceiling rap voice. I know. Like, if they bring the de-dollarization down on us, that'll be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah. I mean, everything you guys are saying is right, right? Um, like I said, just unlimited spending. Like, they want to blame one side for spending and blame the other side. And this guy spent this much. And it's like, well, that was in a pandemic, but the pandemic's gone now. And it's like, well, we've done all this great stuff. It's like, did you? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Biden supposedly has the most people, I guess the biggest labor utilization rate, right? And again, is it all Biden? No, because the person that had it, basically the time that it was right, he's got in the first place now. I think it's at like 83.3. It was at 83.1 before COVID happened under Trump. So is it hard? Is it something he did, or was that where we were going? But then they talk about there was another article this week about the worker productivity, that we are at almost an all-time low for worker productivity at this point, which I thought was interesting. So more people are working, but they're doing less work. So not necessarily the greatest statistics you want. So it's all over the place, but it's like, who knows? All right, here's VIX. Big drop on Friday, right? Big drop on Friday. Kind of gapped up a little bit because you never know what's going to happen over the weekend. And then what happened? Nothing. European session, almost no movement. Dollar. Is the dollar struggling? I mean, it's down, right? But I mean, it's in an area right down here, right around 101.10, where we've had buyers step in, right? It's been here a few times, and we got even space lower. And I don't know. You could talk about the dollar, but oh my God, it's so weak. But is it really weak? I don't know. We're normally talking about the dollar index in like the 90. I mean, look at this. If I bring this back to, it's gonna look weird, guys. But yeah, we'll just go on a month range, right? Right. Is it really weak? We're here right now, right? Is it really weak? Not really. We're here, right? It got really, really high in 1984, but for the most part, I mean, if you look at here's 2000, just use 2000. Here was it was much, much lower, all the way down. If you take an average over here, again, there's a thing here at 95, but the average right here, minus get this spike out of the way. But if you use kind of the top and use the top and the bottom here, the middle is sitting right here, and that's at $95. So are we weak right now? Maybe compared to what we had at 113, but I mean, historically, is it really that bad? Right? I love this. That's awesome. This is truly the beginning, right? This is truly the beginning. It's a dinosaur. I love that. That's awesome. 1968. Wait, the first data point is 1967. So is it really? Not really. Not really. So I love when you see things like that. You're like, oh, the dollar is so weak. It's like, maybe it's going back to where it's supposed to be, right? Maybe it's going back to where it's supposed to be. Indices right now, oh, they all just turn red. They all just turn red. There's 3 of them or 2 of them that were green a second ago. They all just turn red. Just barely. 0.01, 0.06, 0.05, 0.29. Nothing earth-shattering big, right? They're just a bit outside, right? Commodities, on the other hand, I am not happy with the commodities picture. What is this 2.75% up in oil? Back at 73. Come on, we're looking for 65. I don't know why we're going back in this direction. And even natural gas. Natural gas popping a little bit. It's like, man, it is, where's my weather today? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 66 right now. Oh, I guess, Ray Liotta's cause of death, his official autopsy report is revealed now, what he died of. Anyway, yeah, it's supposed to be gotta love Maryland. 93% humidity today. It's awesome. Can't wait. But overall, yeah, not real happy about that. But it's warm. It's popping again. Gold. Look at this. 2021. It's up 0.28, so nothing crazy. Silver just slightly in the green. It was just red a second ago. At that 25.5. Kind of these days, look at these numbers. It's like, should they be there? Not really, but I feel like the market is just like, yep, dollar. That's it. Comments of avoiding recession, I think, are great, but the one thing I got to keep bringing up about this too, this recession thing, we're only going to avoid a recession until China goes after Taiwan, right? Because remember, the second that we go across, Biden has already said we're going to use our full military might to protect Taiwan, even though it's not really, It's not the same as like the Ukraine on an international basis, right? And then we'll have two fronts that we're sending billions and billions of dollars from, and more people may even dislike us. And then we can't buy. Then we got to cut everybody off. We got to sanction everybody in China so we can get no Chinese goods whatsoever. And what does that look like, right? Does that send us into a recession and crazy inflation? Probably, right? Probably. Imagine that. That's it. Tomorrow, you're not allowed to import anything from China, right? So, yeah, there goes the inflation story. So, I don't know. I still think there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of things out there. I feel like gold and silver, they're higher than they should be, but I feel like they have the potential to, they're sitting, they're warm coals, not hot coals, warm coals sitting in a bed of gasoline, right? Ready to take off at any moment. Even though they don't blow them that high. Aussie dollar. Uh-oh. Hold on one sec. Um, um, I don't. Do I? Do I don't think so. Yeah, dealing with the drama of the weekend, and yeah. All right, so Friday, we were sitting back in here late afternoon. We said, hey, listen, we're probably not going to have enough time to do much with this one. We're looking for a potential reversal. It Harry Pottered off there. And again, we can leave this on right now. I think this is fine to leave this where it is right now. You can see decent Harry Potter came back in, and then Sunday it opened and grabbed that old level that was violated, right? The up, the base, the sideways, and went higher. And now we've climbed up a decent amount. We can bring this all the way up, and we can take this one off because the 78 is exactly, buds. Uh-oh. We can take these off now. So where we are right now, I would say, again, price has been up there before. You can see price right here. It's not an easy draw because it's just a wick up here. But we've been here before. Being at the top, typically we will see dollar weakness going into Monday morning. But once the U.S. session opens, and again, we've been open for 12 minutes, now is when we tend to see the reversals coming back in again. So really, if you want to take late last night, it started the move. The European session started right here. So is it a major move? No, it's 27 pips since this morning. But the initial rally started, we hit this level last night at like, what, 8, 9, right? We've moved about 60 pips. So it's at a daily ATR right about now. Now's when we're looking for the reversal to come in. I don't think there's really a reversal here yet. We need to see the candles for it, but I think this one turns and rolls back down again. You can see the 23.6 is all the way down here. Although, the way in looking at this, I would say, hey, listen, there's a base here with a confirmed touch. There's a little spot right there we need to worry about, right? But at the same time, and again, I'm not going to actually draw it on here, but there is a little bit of a Harry Potter trade in here. We had such a strong push up. It is in the overnight, so there's not as many big people here, but, hold on one sec. Five or six. One sec, guys. Hold on. I have to send this message real quick. Whoops. Man, good thing I read that. Still working that out. 3 games and all right. All right, so I do think there's a reversal coming back in. I do think we do have some buyers stepping in. I think show a lot of caution with this 67.89. But if it does come and start basing in here, look for this to push all the way back down. And I would say overall for me, a target on this one, I'm looking right around the 23.6. I think the 67.50 is a good mark. From where that is right now, it's about 50 pips, so it's a decent move today for that to happen. Not a whole lot of news there, but overall, again, the U.S. is going to be a bit more stable than what Aussie is. And again, because it's been nothing but weakness, I'm looking for it to turn and roll back down again. Now, there is we use this broken zone as a Harry Potter trade. There is a little bit of it coming out right here as well to the downside. I think it's important to note that this is it's only about 7 pips, so it's not a huge level. But I'd like to see what this does. When this does come down and base in here, or here, or here, it may actually base up there. It can base anywhere in this range. I think then we start looking for a push back down again. And I would say overall, we have a second target somewhere around here, kind of where this Harry Potter is as well. So right now, by Wednesday, I'm looking for this to kind of push down, break the 67.50, and then come all the way down and break the 67. What? No, you cannot put the tea set up on Daddy's desk. Sorry. Here, do you want this? Ooh, shiny. Looking for it to push back down again, but before we can get the initial short, we do need to see a decent top right now. It's a mirror wick. We do have a little bit of a red candle. We'll see if we can start painting a little bit more of a red. But again, probably in the next half hour, I think this turns and rolls back to the downside. So, you know, you mentioned Nadex. If you are looking for a Nadex based trade, this actually is in a horrible space up here. If you could find something for some type of a spread as well. I know we don't talk about it much. I really don't even look at it that often anymore. Like I said, some of the things they have there are just not keeping up. Like I said, I think being purchased by a big crypto firm right before crypto crashes, and actually now I don't know if you guys saw it. Again, I get all these articles on my phone for like the finance stuff. You know, um, two different founders. I guess one that's still currently there, like the founder of Ethereum, and then the founder. Basically, he left and then formed Cardano or whatever. Both of them are calling for like a huge crash in crypto, and they're trying to like warn people of the crash before it happens. I don't know if that's a reason to buy more or what. I mean, who knows, right? But they're warning of a crash based off of what's happening with the U.S. banking system. But anyway, look for the base, look for the drop. I think we have something coming in here, a decent area of spreads in there. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, we mentioned this last week that we like this level in both directions. Once we started to get this base here, and again, 10:30, 11 o'clock that we not entered, you're not entering this trade at 2:30 on a Friday. Not happening, right? But what we did start to get was a zone. Once we started the base here, like, look at this. There's a basing level right there, right? And then what happened is Sunday happened, and Sunday came right back down. And we were already calling for a long coming out the top side, but we wanted to see where the level was. But you can see it came back down, and late last night, it came back down to the basing level and took off. So there's a couple adjustments we make on this one. One, I wish I could like flip this. Like instead of being this way, make it go this way, right? But I don't have the option to flip it. I guess I do have. I guess I can do it with this. I guess I could do it there. I just don't like. I think that one just doesn't look as good. Let me get bigger. I guess that's okay. I guess that's not horrible. In this case, obviously, it would be a red. But basically, the thinking on this one is now that we have a new base in there, it's not a gigantic zone. It's only about 14 pips. There's a nice little run all the way back down again. So I'd be looking at profit targets down here. Okay. And again, this would be this with this. So I do think there's a Harry Potter trade when this one finally does turn and roll. Now, we talked about topside, and you can see it came up, it peaked in, grabbed it, and it took off in the overnight. So we're in extension right now. So I can pull this out. I could, run the other direction. We can go fibs low to high. And you can see right around the 23, there is something. So that's probably going to be a downside target. But right now, I mean, the reality is, again, this was a short we talked about. We said if it pops or goes down, look for a confirmation. It did. It came through Sunday night. We got it. But again, we're definitely out. I don't need to draw. Your 1 to 3 is out on that in that position. So right now, eyes are kind of looking at this right now. A break of 90.88. Actually, just pull that. I hate when that goes behind it. It's like a pet peeve. 90.87, right? 90.87. A break of that, looking for it to come down all the way to 90.32. So it'll be on the watch list for later on this week. And there's any number of reasons why that wouldn't work. So put that one right there. But kind of the same feeling. It's been straight up. U.S. session is live now. So I would expect a turn and a rollover in the Aussie right now. Just we got to see where it turns and rolls. Euro dollar. All right, we said this was going to be an issue. Hit it at 12:30, and it did. It pulled back and started to form a base in there, which was fine. Again, we assumed that this one would come back up when we run out of time. Now, the 68 did have some issues. It kind of hit it. It started to form a base, right? Hit it, peeked its head up, peeked its head down, peeked its head up. So it's still kind of stabilizing over there. As far as a trade entry, you would have wanted to get something more near term, which would have been up in this area. So there was a little trade, but the reality is, look, it's not really moving in the last 2 hours. It's gone up and down, but the opening close is almost exactly the same. In 24 hours, it's moved 17 pips. there is just not enough catalyst on this one, positive or negative, to really give us much of a help here. Either way, right? Um, yeah, I mean, oops, hold on. And it's for yes. All right. So where we are with this, because it is Monday and the U.S. session is rolling in, I would probably expect a little bit more dollar strength to roll back in because the dollar hasn't really had much of a chance. But the reality is, I mean, it drove down at like 3 o'clock, came right back up again. 7 it pulled back down again. It's really kind of stuck inside of this in this channel. All the sellers in here should be gone, and you can see we really don't have a whole lot running until we get really all the way up here at 110.86. We got sellers above and below, and again, the 110 is still sitting right there. So really, again, smack in the middle of no man's land. Um, again, if we can clear this 110.50 range, maybe we start getting a little bit higher up. But it only has the ability to go till probably 110.80, maybe 20, 30 pips higher. So just again, no catalyst on this one, a little bit harder to go, right? Yeah, look, Euro bulls fight exhaustion, right? Oh, they say below 110, but yeah, I mean, it's just, you have some consolidation. This is just a typical Monday. Nothing exciting with this one. Euro pound, again, super, super flat. Friday at 12 o'clock, we were like, yeah, probably not a great area. And look at this. It just kind of came down and green, the red went lower. There's no entry. The first entry you could get here is at 4:30 on a Friday. Are you entering a Euro pound trade 4:30 on a Friday? No, right? And we're exactly at the same spot. So not a whole lot. Again, profit target hit. We'll pull this one out. We can run this all the way down now. We're gonna pull that. Pull that. We'll mark this one off just as a kind of like a watch that one, watch that level. Don't need that. We can adjust this farther down. We're gonna put it off of that level right there. Okay. So again, even with a deep push, not really the best level to take off of, but I don't think. Let's see. Right here, the next one. Thursday. So Thursday. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, right now it's just no movement. 9 pips in 24 hours. I'd say obviously low in the curve. Probably looking more for long scenarios, but I mean, really, this is exactly where we were last week, right? Friday, Sunday, nice pop at the open, nice pop back down, and we're in the same spots. We're basically, I mean, here's our 10 o'clock candle right now. It's 10 o'clock right now. Here's our 10 o'clock candle, and we've moved 1.3 pips since Friday this time. So a lot of movement in the euro pound right now. So not much to do with that one. All right, so euro yen. We talked about a level here late last night. It ended up grabbing that level, and it's been here a few times. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Once it pulled back and started forming a base right here, you're like, "Yep, it's going long. It's breaking." And it did. It just barely broke and pulled back again, but it's really kind of stuck in that zone right now. So overall, we had mentioned this one. We knew it had been there before. Again, had a little hit, but it's just It's just basing at this point. So, yeah, we're gonna remove it. Um, 27. Shrink this zone just a bit. Yeah, if this pushes through, it shouldn't hold again. It's probably gonna run into. Probably gonna run into something right there. Right. Problem with this zone here. Right. One, two. Three pushes in already, but there's a level here and a level here. So there's not even like a clean Harry Potter on it. Honestly, I don't like this one either direction. If you're gonna form the base here, okay. There's the base there. We've already pushed it 90% of the way. If it breaks, it should go higher till at least here, but ultimately probably up into the 150 range. As far as the downside goes, yeah, okay, it is a 23.6 now, but look at all the basing here. There was a little bit of a confirmation touch, but if it breaks this, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And you got a base here and a base here as well. So I mean, there's kind of three little levels stacked on top of each other. The 50, nothing, 61.8, it's been there a few times as well. So not really anything clean for the euro yen. Um, Again, is it, what's this trend right now? I mean, I guess you could say it's up, but we have lower highs right now, and we're kind of testing lower lows. And if it starts to break, um, you know, this I'm gonna say that this green just barely went above, but again, it looks like we are in the middle of like a color change and push back to the downside. So, yeah, not really. I just don't like it. There's just not a lot in this one. I wouldn't be not interested in taking that one right now. Pound. All right, so the pound. So we did get through the push. We did get a push through on this one on Friday. And again, there was so much volatility with this going down and then coming back up again. You can see it did kind of do a Harry Potter. You're not holding in the overnight. And I said, don't, that's definitely a no-no. Goes just a little bit higher. So this one does have a little bit of a Harry Potter setup as well. Again, looking for that reversal. We do have the red in right now. We'll see where the green stops. And when, again, dollar strength rolls back in the U.S. market, when this goes lower, there will be a trend confirmation in there. Now, there is a level of basing sitting right here. Again, very easy to see. It hit it, came in, based in there, came in there, touched it, and touched it. And then there is a big racetrack. So there is actually a short position here that could potentially trigger for today. Again, if we don't just keep finding the people up top, it's about 11 pips worth of risk. And again, your 1 of 3 is sitting just a little bit far. Right there. There's 1 of 3. You can see overall, we'd want to get profit out on this one right there. I missed it by 2. It's close. Something along those lines. Right. Something along those lines. Okay. And not shabby, right? 11 for 33. Not bad. It's got a little bit more room to run. Right? Got a little bit more room to run. And again, that's one of those ones that, oops, you could say, hey, listen, I want to know when it breaks there, right? I want to know when it breaks. Boom, comes through. And again, this one, we have another Harry Potter on here. So really, we're calling for dollar strength to roll back into this one. We'll see. Pound yen. All right, so pound yen. We were looking for this one to go higher, right? And we talked about how, listen, be careful over the weekend. You can see Friday ended low, right? So Friday ended low, so you could have kind of adjusted this one. Sunday opened here, so it did pull back. So, you could say, hey, listen, there's our base. So you could have got long this one. You can see it's not. Again, we're always, for Harry Potters, we're always looking for the near-term base of things. Oh, you know what? It did. It did get out. Wow, it did. It did. There's 3 dead on. Look at that. It did hit. Wow, I missed this one. Yeah, I had this one on there. I saw the alert. And then I didn't have a chance to look at it again. Yeah. Wow. I missed that one. Not a bad trade too. Man, I'm kind of pissed on this Monday. For Monday morning, that would have been nice to wake up and be like, yep, 61 pips right there, 62 pips. Love it. Yeah, didn't catch that one. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, we talked about a break above 170.56, looking for more near term. Once it formed the base down here low, you're like, okay. And then what happened is here's Friday, here's Sunday. It pulled away, and you said, listen, there's the near term base. There's where the potential pop is, because the Harry Potter had not happened yet. It did not hear. It went up. It based at 7 o'clock last night, came back down and triggered at what, 8:30, 9 o'clock? I was actually in bed at 9 o'clock. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, nice little overnight position. So that's what happens when you're tired. That sucks. Anyway, hope some of you guys grabbed that one. But on the flip side now, again, pretty decent trade. We're going to mark it right there. We'll pull this one off again. We were talking about all the way up, but the zone was, again, it formed a lower zone, a lower risk zone. So let's take that out. Again, you can see there's the triggered alert. right? There's 3 of them right here, right? Actually, there was a second one. I have another one too. So yeah, it triggered. Let's pull this off, and now look what we have here. And again, yen getting some strength back in again versus some of these other positions. I think the 1 to 3 is right there. It's 1309, which is fine. Right there is probably where we need to make sure we get profit by. Let's punch this down. Let's punch that right there. Short. And there you go. So yeah, so it looks like a break of 170.18 coming down to 169.55. Man, still mad that I didn't get that one. I would have been really excited with that for today. But no. Huh. Long weekend of games. So yeah, that, and again, I still like the 170, 153 up top. I think that's decent. Don't like the 78, but I like the way that it pushed down, came up, paused, and then just collapsed. So let's pull this off. I don't need that one on there anymore. Yes, I know it was an alert. Actually, we can recycle that alert. Let's bring that alert there. And we're going to bring an alert here and create that one. All right, good. So there, you can see the alert is now live right there. All right. So let's see if we get the continued deterioration. Dollar CAD still going lower. Now, we mentioned 133 being on the radar. Again, we broke through. Let's pull this all the way down now just to update it. 133.40 doesn't matter. It's kind of in range. Yeah, so 133 is where the start of this was, right? So it has broken through there. So let's pull that. That one's fine. Let's adjust this and see it. Even though you should be using this one, not this one. Let's see, because people will move it. Nah, it's close. It's close. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for a confirmed bottom here. We don't have it yet. Reason why we're not using this is because it's just too big. Yeah, it's 26 pips, right? It's 26 pips. It's like 30% of the daily ATR. So not his own. I mean, we know we have buyers down there, right? We've had buyers down there in the past. Actually, this should be off. We know that 33 is a big deal. So try to clean some of these up. I don't go back far on this one often. There's a short that was good. Do I want this top side? Yeah, top side's fine. It was everything in the middle. Like these in the middle. Pull these in. I'm fine with that one. These are all below, but I'll pull them. These are old Harry Potter trains from September last year. I'm gonna leave some of those on, actually. I'm not gonna take them all off. There's a Harry Potter right here too. All right, dollar Swiss. Whoa, that was all over the place. All right, so you can see the Z alert triggered right here. Right. There's your position. Now, this is another one of those ones. So it broke through here on the 5th at 1 o'clock. Okay. Again, we're not entering trades at 1 o'clock on a Friday. It pulled back up again to confirm that there is a zone there. Okay. Push back down again. And now this is where Sunday happens, right here. Okay. So once Sunday happens, we know, hey, listen. And on this one, too, just so everybody understands, it did go well past the larger zone. Looking at this, you would have said, hey, listen, there is actually our risk level, right? There's our risk level with confirmation. So this would have actually been shortened to 1 to 3, which is right there. As you can see, this one triggered at 8 p.m. and was out at what? Midnight? 11:30, right? So even if you'd use the original target, you were there. It ended up going all the way down to here to 1 to 6. But 1 to 3 was only sitting right there. So pretty easy trade, right? And we said it wasn't huge, right? Again, typically 25 is the minimum that we grab on it. 25 is sitting right there. So it took the second little push back down again, but it was out at 2 o'clock in the morning. So pretty easy one. Again, we were talking about this last week being really, really high, looking for reversals. We knew we had the base there. We were looking for the pullback. But again, 1 o'clock is not on a Friday, is not when you enter it. And what it did is it was perfect. It opened in the bottom side here to the downside and then just pulled back up and grabbed that level. So same Harry Potter. Again, we're going to take this alert off. It is officially out. Yep, I know. Pull these off. We're good there. We can continue that across if you like. Again, it may still come into play one more time. Do we have enough to the downside? 36 pips. 10. There's almost another one in here. There's almost another one in. What, Kip? What? What's wrong? What are you whining about? I hear you whining about something. These are stop expired. I think this deletes the line, though. Maybe. That would be handy if it did. Oh, stop triggered, stop expired. Yeah, some of these were expired from before, which is fine. Oh, this is just the full list. I don't need the full list. Okay. There's the actives right there. All right. So, yeah, I think at this point, I mean, 2 levels to look out for. We're kind of sitting right in the middle right now, but I think 89.10, there is a potential for one more hit off of that one. It's an okay zone. It already has hit it once, so again, it kind of loses a point on that one. And then to the downside, same thing. I think if we break through this level, those are really the two I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything as far as dollar strength based on this right now, based off this pair. But we knew it was extremely high on Friday, and we called for a pullback, and that's exactly what we're getting. The Harry Potter kicked in that we went through, and again, I don't need to go through it again. And there's one more opportunity for it to come back down, back into the 88.30 range. So that's kind of the next step for the dollar Swiss. Dollar yen. It likes the 135. Yeah, we talked about it. Look, 135 here hit. It hit 135 again, and it's still stuck in the same range in 135. We talked about, again, using this level. There was Friday, and then it just dead. It just flatlined. There was Friday. Sunday started right here. It came up, and again, there is a wick up to there. So it did exactly what it should have done. You could have said, hey, listen, I'm going to actually use this. And you could have taken that, I guess, if you really wanted to. It's not in the best of levels, and it did push it pretty deep. But the problem right now is 135 is such a big psychological number. Remember 130 was bad. 135 was the end of the world, and last week we called for an intervention. We haven't got any news that there was any official intervention, but it came back from 137 all the way down to 133. So it did what we forecast it would do. I didn't hear the I word, but it did exactly what the I word would have attempted to accomplish. So I'm wondering if it just kind of happened behind the scenes and wasn't like official. Kip. Kipster, come here. Kip. Hold on one sec. He gets quiet. That's when things get completely direct. He's quiet. Hold on. Okay. He's just wrecking Barbies. That's all. He's got his little table set up, and all Jen's stuff is wrecked. So she probably organized it before she went to school. She's that kind of girl where she organizes everything and then come home and it's kind of like, oh my God, what happened to my Barbies? It's like, it would be your brother. Anyway, 135 is there. Again, probably rolls back a little bit. There is a little tiny bit of a hairy, again, another kind of dollar weakness based trade in this one. Again, we have some basing in here. It is small. It is about 10 pips. If you go here to here, it's punched down to that level twice. It's not an exact mirror, but it's pretty close. And then there's a way to push down. We did kind of have that drawn and said, hey, listen, look for this to roll back to 134.28. It's okay. This pair is getting more and more and more volatile. I mean, it has a daily ATR of 140. That's pretty crazy. 1 to 3 is only sitting right there, which you can see is right where the profit target is. So this is another one of those ones that we continue to see the dollar weakness because, the dollar's bad, or we just continue to see the yen strength rolling in. This one should turn and continue to roll lower. And it looks like a break of approximately 134.62. Again, I'd like to see it kind of form. Again, if it forms here, let me just put this here just so it's easy. If it forms the base here, then obviously this gets moved up. We look for it to punch into this level, pull back up, and use it and take the short from higher. I just don't know where it's at yet because it's sitting up here. It's still sitting 30 something pips away, so it's still got some more room to run. I would like to get this one short. I think 34.28 makes complete sense, especially with lack of any real news today, particularly with what we have coming, right? With Wednesday with the CPI data here, right? I think this data here, I think people are going to have a hard time with. So yeah, looking forward to roll higher. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now with this. See, cryptos are dropping down a little bit again. TLT also coming quite back in the right down to 130 range. All right, let's go look at oil. Oil. Here we go again. It's funny. Oil hit the 50, and that's what it's reversing of this morning. Yeah, reversing on the 50. So it looks like again overnight we went straight back up again. We hit 9:30. We happen to be at 9:30 session open and at the 50% retracement level. It's a very common time, as well as a level that fib traders will use. It's a very technically traded product. Right now, I mean, there's no real supply or demand over here at the 50 besides just being this artificial kind of like percentage, right? This is like the force. There's not a lot this morning, right? That's really holding this one back. I'd say there's a little bit of a basing down here at, I don't know, 71.25-ish level, right? There's some basing. Not much room there right now. So if this turns and rolls back down to 71.25, would not surprise me whatsoever. It's really kind of the first level where we do have some buyers in there, but no real great levels to take a short from, nor anything over here that I'm like super excited to take a buy from. This big pop down here that we had last Wednesday does kind of mess up the bottom side analysis because I'm not drawing the top of the body. I'm not drawing this as a risk level. That's ridiculous, right? 66.93 to 63. No, not happening. So right now with oil, it's like, there's just a lot of sloppy in this one. So does it tick back down again? Yeah, I absolutely could see why it would, being the 50, being that it was the U.S. session open. Again, there is some basing in there. Do I want to use that basing? It's not very high quality basing one way or the other, nor is it a candidate for a Harry Potter with this little hiccup on Friday morning. So not a lot of trade setups for oil right now. I mean, I guess people on like the smaller time frame could be like, oh, this is what we got, right? I don't know, maybe what they're doing is this week, right? This week, right? Here's the high to low this week. Well, if you did that, the 23.6 got blown up immediately. So that didn't work for you. Maybe it goes down to the 61 and that's the continuation they're using. I don't know. They can maybe they're using this one this time. Maybe that's what they'll do. And again, this is why fibs are a little bit subjective of where you're going to run them from. So yeah, right now, not much for oil. Again, super slow Monday. Natural gas. All right, so natural gas. This one hit at 1 o'clock on Friday. This one closes in that early time frame, that 1:30, 2:30 time frame. So again, you're not taking this one in the overnight. Unfortunately, we were hoping that the 23 would hold, but it ended up hitting, and it didn't. Friday occurred here, and again, this market was already closed at that point, so you're not trading again, just way too late. Did it pull all the way up? Because this would have been a trade. Nah, I missed it. Yeah, I understand why this one turned. It used this. That's what it used. Okay. But again, we were waiting for the actual confirmed pullback, not the candles that formed that pullback. So yeah, it's there. Look at all the basing right in this level. Again, 1, 2, 3. We would expect it to break on 4. Chop, 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 chop. Right in there. So probably a short when this finally does break. People will trade this pivot right here. Probably a short in there. Again, riskier short, but there's probably a short. I'd wait for the pullback. Yeah, right there. Again, you're going to have a zone sitting. You're going to have buyers stepping in right there. I can tell you right now that's not straight. Right. It's all right. I mean, it's okay. I don't like natural gas that much. Not my favorite, but we analyze it on here because it's a commodity. But yeah, if it was a currency, I'd be like, yeah. Well, you wouldn't see the gap with the currency, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It belongs down at 2. So we'll see that deteriorate rather quickly. That's what we got gold. So we talked about gold popping up. We were sitting here on Friday and we said, hey, listen, this is a big push. Don't be surprised if it goes up. It did. I had Friday ending here, so I missed it by a little. I don't know why I drew it over there on Sunday night. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, we're talking about where Friday ended, which is here. So I missed it by. I don't know why I drew it 4 candles over, but again, the price was right about there. I said I expected it to open, close there, right around the 23, and it did. And it's not really much different than it was. It's just that that gigantic move on Friday. Starting at midnight, at midnight straight down. Didn't matter what the data was. And now you can see really since this morning at midnight, we're just chopping sideways. So gold not really moving. It's green based off of Friday, but is it really green from where? I mean, Sunday I guess it opened, but once it hit midnight, European session was here. Is there any movement in the European session? No, completely sideways. Completely sideways. $1 strength does roll back in again. I do think that 2000 will be a target, particularly on. Again, I'm okay with it holding high here because of this, right? Because of this, the CPI data on Wednesday. There's no news for the next 2 days. We know that already. If we can hold and maintain between 2030, 2035, between the 50 and 61, there is a small level with that being the bottom sitting right here. Maybe that's where we shoot for Wednesday. But overall, I like this high here because I really think this is going to spook people, showing that there was an increase in CPI on a monthly basis. Remember, the market only likes these numbers when it benefits them. They'll be like, oh, look, we're holding firm. Really? Because I thought we were beyond restrictive. It should be getting lower. But on a monthly basis, you can see there was an acceleration. And they'll be like, no, it's the core. It's the core. Nah, the core matters. But yet, when you look at all this, it's like, really? You weren't talking about the core stuff at all, right? You weren't talking about the core at all. Like on March, you weren't talking about that. You're talking about the yearly. Like, oh, it's coming down. It's working, guys. So, yeah, I'm good with gold staying higher. I think artificially it's there. If we do push up into this 136, 137 range, whoops. I do think that we pull the trigger on that one for shorts. Okay. Silver, same thing. All we're doing, again, we're hovering right around the 50% level. There's not a lot in there. Again, lower highs, about even lows. I think this one retraces as well, and I think it comes back down and tests this 25.20 is where we're looking for down here. Right along those lines. So something along those lines right there. So, yeah. Fine. Yeah. I mean, I like this one. Again, you see one is green, one is red. That's how you know the market is a little frazzled. There was actually, it looks like 8:30. There was actually a little bit of a overnight position or opportunity to take the short. Very choppy though, right? It came up, it went right down. It came right back up again, came right back down again. So again, not the ideal type of trade, but it looks like, yep, there to there. So it looks like if we can clear that level at 25.50, again, a little half number there. I'm good with that one. We should push all the way back down to 25.19. So looks like there is a trade setting up on that one. Again, with the chop back and forth, though, I'm not going to put that risk on there. It's not smart to do that. All right, what do we got here? Got Apple up just a little bit. Yeah, look at Apple holding high, trying to push that 175. Tesla, it's funny. Apple's like, and then Tesla, it's like right down. So, yeah, not there. All the indices, they look like they're accelerating a little bit. We got going with the VIX. VIX creeping up a little bit. It's funny. Dollar is just literally going sideways. I guess the dollar's popping a little bit. We talked about, 9:30 it went down and the 10 o'clock candles going up, right? A little dollar strength rolling in. What's we got with these indices right here? Oh, that was Melissa. It's not Melissa. Here we go. Did we have anything confirmed? Yeah, but it's 8:15 confirmed. Again, yeah, it's from Friday. So yeah, it's all right. 9:15. It was a little green. Nothing in there. Again, nothing that I'm. It's super late at night. Not even. Look, there would have been your confirmation level, right? Because it didn't break it. But there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. You're running along, and is that where you want to take a reversal from? I mean, it didn't enter till 9:45, 10 o'clock anyway, so not really. No opening print on this one. Where it was right here, there was nothing even remotely close. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you could have got an 8:15. Nice little short from the top. I don't know if you're out. Let's see. Let us see. I did not take this trade, just so, before anybody thinks that, oh, you took that one. No, I didn't take this one. Again, you guys know, Between 7:45 and like 8:15, 8:30, I'm literally shuttling the boys around. No, it's not out yet, but you're pretty deep in the trade. So I mean, your stop loss will be a break even. So if you did take that trade, props to you. Nice little trade, right? 625 for 1875. Not a bad little position there, right? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Um, Speaking of this, by the way, you guys are gonna laugh at this one. So you guys know my opinion on, you know, the funded accounts and currencies versus futures. I can't say who it's from, but I was asked to. I don't know how my name got thrown in this pool. I get it. I occasionally get emails. They want me to like review platforms and stuff like that. I guess because I've been doing this long enough now. But they're like, oh, you know, are you familiar with these platforms? Can I get your opinion? Like, they're surveys on different things. I got asked to evaluate a funded program. I'm not allowed to say who it is. That was like the one caveat. I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's an evaluation or whatever. But they want me to do it in futures. I was like, oh, you guys know my opinion on futures. I'm like, really? So yeah, they want me to do a futures evaluation, and I'm like, should I do opening print for this? Like, I really feel like I should just, again, it's more to evaluate. It's like obviously not to get the funded account. It's to evaluate like the process and give my opinion on the process. But I have to do it with futures, and I'm like, should I just do opening print with this? Just do it straight up futures, right? Just do straight futures at the open from like I don't know, like the 8:15. Like I'm typically back from getting the boys. So like I could have potentially taken this one at 8:30. It's like as far as opening print goes, not an opening print, but yeah, easy enough trade from the overnight. But I'm like, debating like, do I tell them like, yeah, I'll do whatever I want. I'm like, I don't have that much extra time, but it's like it's kind of cool. Like I like beta testing like different things, like all into like beta testing different like games. It's like, do I beta test it? Maybe, maybe. But I just futures just drives me nuts sometimes. I think this one would have just missed. You did have some confirmation here in the overnight. Again, 7:30, a little bit early, but again, not the best of levels. Sitting there, could you have taken this one at 8:30? Yeah, same thing. Yeah, rather small risk on it. Um, the 9:30, I'm sorry, the 9:15 was green, so we'd expected a red, and it did. It printed red, but it ran into exactly where you should have ran into, and now it's basing. So this one's actually not horrible. Again, not opening print, but again, when we see this type of position, again, cross out that this is NQ. Just pretend that it's anything else but NQ, and you got to say, hey, listen, there was a big run up. There's a base, and now we're forming a base above it. It looks like there is a potential on this one to again, um, push down, and it's not even going that far there. We'll see when it pushes down. This could be the decent. Actually, it may look like this. We don't have. We got to see what what it looks like. But it could reverse off there. Sure it could. We need to pop a little bit lower, and I'd like to see the basing in there. But whenever you see this, you know, that's where it's kind of like you see this, and then it pushes down to here. You just move this up here, and that's where your entry would be for the next push, right? It could potentially go all the way down, and you'll miss the trade. But you know what? Missing a trade is better than taking a trade before it's supposed to be triggered. All right, but I'd say there's a little Harry Potter trade in NQ lining up right now, and again, it's not the weakest, but it's pretty close. If this starts to deteriorate, you can see there's not a lot of buyers coming in until all the way this level. YM, what do we got here? Nope. 8 o'clock was a push through the top. You can see grind. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you would not have taken this one short. We called for a pullback. We didn't get quite the pullback we were looking for. It did pull back, but not all the way. Yeah, it would have been no entry on this one. Yeah, the 915 candle is red. The 930 is down, but there's no confirmed level. 1, 2, 3. Nope. No YM trade either. No Harry Potter trade. So, I guess we could start marking this offer tomorrow, but nothing right now. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be one of those things. Let's say, well, Russell. Did Russell give it to us? I mean, Russell pulled all the way back up to the top. We had talked about this. We talked about this running into selling here, and that's where we drew that's why we drew up this way. That's what it ran into. Would I have said trade that one on a Monday? No. But that's the 930 candle. The 930 is the touch of of this. So I'll just push it across. Yeah, I mean, It's there, but it doesn't meet the rules of the opening print. So yes, it did touch. We did have that one marked off where it was last time, and that's why we had this one, the zero here. Um, is there a trade to continue this one lower? Not a great one. There's obviously basing and buyer stepping in here, but not like a great, not enough room. But I would say, if this does continue to deteriorate down, look for buying to come in around here, 1741. That kind of pop up and then base and then taking off. The fact that it is a 50 as well, we pulled it far enough away that it's an easy draw from high to low. I think there'll be buyers stepping in there at 1741. So not the worst of levels, but not surprised that we're running into something right here. I mean, it chopped. This was like the 940. This was the 930 to 12. So again, this is the hot time right on Friday. Right? This is hot time. And that's what we're running into right now. So yeah, pop down. So yeah, as far as opening print goes, not, I mean, again, 0.1 down, 0.3 down, 0.2 down, I guess 0.5 down now. It's the biggest mover. And it did actually hit a level of sellers. It's all right for Monday. Nothing crazy. So, I mean, there was a little bit of opportunities. None of them met opening print. There was no levels formed in the overnight, no confirmations touched. And again, a lot of times that happens on, but Monday morning trading, particularly when there's no news. So, yeah. Boring for a Monday. What do we got now? Look, 5, 17, 14, 7, 22. Woo! 52. There we go. We got one that's half decent. 2, 31. It's green and it's going back to the downside. So, again, Monday, no news. That's what we tend to get. So, again, Tuesday could be boring as well. Wednesday is where it gets crazy with the CPI followed by the UK as well as PPI. We start rolling in. And again, same thing. Look at this. This is why I'm talking about gold and silver going up right now is great. Why? CPI on a monthly basis. Not going down, not holding, right? Suppose the core goes down and then they're going to be all over the core is what matters. But yeah, you just ignored it for the last 6 months, right? And all you've been looking at is this year-over-year number, right? But then PPI, look at PPI, was negative. Even the core negative last time and showing acceleration again. So so again, calm before the storm. That's all I'm going to say. Calm before the storm. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. So 6:30 is when I'm shutting this sucker down. You got 25 seconds in. Now is when we got to send the what's it called? The Twitch hacks, right? Send the Twitch hacks. 10 seconds more. Let's see if I get it right on. Right, 5, 4, 3, 2. This is where it lags on me, and I'm like, oh, can't do it. And boom, right there. Called at 6:30, got it on there. All right, so wow, only 5. I would have expected more. Ernest, look, Ernest is giving himself a 50-50 coin flip. 50-50 coin flip for all the marbles. He's won 2. Can he take it? Winner of today's drawing is somebody cue the music. Cue the music. That's risky, my friend. Risky, right? You gave yourself a 50-50 chance. You risk 40 to make 250. I feel like, yeah. Debbie's like, well. Yeah. I feel like when you're going, I felt like they were giving it to you, right? Neuro only put 2 in, knowing that you were going for all the marbles. I feel like it was a gimme, right? I feel like you should have busted that one and taken it all. So yeah, so it cost you 40, and Debbie snags that sucker for 25 on 1 pip chip. Where the heck is Debbie? Right there. So yeah, so it looks like Ernest needed more coffee. He needed that double shot. Double shot Texas soy mocha, frappuccino, frozen, frosted, whatever the heck, nitro you want to call it. I don't know, whatever they call it in Texas. So, all right, that's it for today. So tomorrow we'll be back on, and yeah, this is what we're preparing for tomorrow morning. Nada. So hopefully we get more movement, but again, that's what happens Monday when there's no news. We prepare for the days that there are. There was a few setups in the overnight, again, a couple from Friday. So again, it wasn't there was no trades. And again, there was a really nice trade in the morning that I did miss, even though we had it drawn. But there was plenty of the other opportunities out there. So hopefully we see the same thing. With that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on a Monday morning, and I'll see you Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.